a blockbuster trade. And I mean trade with a capital T. Like a trade that you're not really expecting, that you would think that no one would be able to do, that certainly the Braves wouldn't agree to. You can probably guess where this is going to go. He thinks the Braves should make a Juan Soto-type trade by sending Ronald Acuña Jr. to the Mariners.
Because Acuña, in this marketplace, without offensive players of this stature, you can make the Juan Soto trade. Who can I make the Juan Soto trade with? Now I got to talk to the Seattle Mariners, who've made the playoffs one time since 2001. Are the only of the 30 teams that has never made the World Series. They're about to let the zombie Astros win the division again because they haven't taken advantage. Their right field. You're welcome. Their right field production is the worst in the sport.
Now, you're not wrong. It stung. But you're not wrong. When are the Mariners going to go all in? When are you going to take advantage of it? It's only so long you can go before you start looking at a team going, hey, I don't know if your plan. Like the plan the Mariners have has gotten them to a winning record in, 4 consecutive seasons? One trip to the playoffs in 2022, a great pitching staff. Like there are things to look at and go, okay, like this is a positive step forward. I don't mind this. This is great. It's not enough. You're not a playoff team. You're not getting to the playoffs regularly. You've been once in 23 years. You need more. So what's it going to be? What's it going to be? We know the exact approach you've taken isn't going to work. Is it going to be pulling off this blockbuster trade where, in this case, yeah, you are giving up the farm for Ronald Acuña Jr.? Joel Sherman continues and says the Mariners are a perfect trade partner.
You know what they have in the last Baseball America rankings, which literally came out yesterday? 9 top 100 prospects. They have a lot of duplication in the middle infield. What do the Braves need? Albies has gone the wrong way. Nick Allen is playing shortstop. Is there a Soto trade to be made here? And the question I would ask the Seattle Mariners is this. The Cubs hadn't won in 108 years, and people were like, how are you giving up this much for Aroldis Chapman, Theo Epstein? And he said, if not now, when?
Right.
If not now, when for the team that's made the playoffs once in a quarter century and has never been to the World Series?
Now, in this case, let's say it's Ronald Acuña Jr., okay? You're getting a proven hitter. Not just a proven hitter, you're getting an all-star. He's going to be in the home run derby. We're talking Laz Montes, Colt Emerson, prospects 1 and 2. Are you giving up Felnin Celestin? Parting ways with Harry Ford. Maybe you're including a major leaguer in that. Maybe it's one of your starters. You obviously don't want to take from your offense. The Braves, I don't know that they'd be very interested, but that's the group that you're trying to pad, so you don't want to take from it. That's a huge gamble. It's a very uncomfortable group to trade. Would you do it?
Do it.
And I don't know that it would be all those guys. I'm just listing names that you all are very familiar with.
I'll give them all 9.
Huh?
I'll give them all 9 prospects.
Stop. No, you wouldn't.
This is an aggressive play. It would be an aggressive move. It'd be a statement to the fans and to the rest of the league. Could you imagine having Ronald there, Julio, Cal, Rosarena, and JP? Those 4 or 5 alone just changes the way that you look at this lineup. And I think that it would be an aggressive move. It's a necessary move if you want to be considered legit contenders. That is what teams do if they're really trying to win championships, is you make moves like that and you roll the dice. And then you lean on your past. You have shown that you can evaluate young talent, right? Last several years, you've been top 5 when it comes to prospects in the farm system. Lean on your scouting department and say, all right, we have to restock.
So Sherman mentions the Juan Soto to the Padres trade. I don't know if the Mariners are going to have to pay that steep of price, but especially because Acuña is coming off of an injury-plagued season. He's back. He's looking great. Like, he's very much the player that he was pre-injury, but you also have to be concerned about it. The one thing that is working against the Mariners in this is that Acuña is very affordable. I think he's only got like 3 years left and only like 60-something million on his deal.
In theory, it would make him really appealing to a team that does not want to super overpay and likes club control and wants youth. it's just going to make it harder for the Braves to actually deal him. I don't know that they're going to be interested in that at all.
Right. So looking at the package that the Nationals ended up giving to the Padres, darn near everybody panned out. C.J. Abrams, Mackenzie Gore, James Wood, Robert Hassel, who is he made his major league debut this season for the Nationals, was one of their top prospects. A couple of veterans were thrown in there as well. Luke Voigt, who's no longer in Major League Baseball, and then a relief pitcher who I don't think is around anymore either. But Abrams, Gore, Hassel, and Wood, I believe, were the Padres', I want to say, top 4 prospects that year. 4 of their top 5. So Abrams was 1, Hassel was 2, Gore was 4, and James Wood was 5.
So it would be like dealing, if they can get away with not dealing Emerson or Montez, I don't know, they probably have to deal both. Let's pretend it's Emerson, Montez,
I mean,
Celestin.
4 of your top 5, according to MajorLeagueBaseball.com right now, that's Colt Emerson, Laz Montez, Felnian Celestin, and Harry Ford.
That's deeply uncomfortable.
It is.
Deeply uncomfortable. However, the idea being, this is someone who you know can win and can win now. And I go back to, God, was it Keith Law?
Here's that cut.
Thank you.
Sometimes the hardest thing for any front office to do is just evaluate your own prospects, because they're all like, we just joke as writers, these are my little word babies. I don't want to delete any of them, right? It's kind of the same thing with prospects. You drafted them, you scouted them. How do we let them go? But at some point, you got to make those decisions, even if you really believe the player is going to be good. He just may not fit for you.
So again, you might look at those guys and go, I think these guys are going to be superstars. But if they're superstars for us in 2028, does that feel as good? You know what I mean?
I don't care about 2028.
That's, I think, where a lot of Mariners fans find
2025 right now. We've been waiting how long now? Forget all that. The prospects, nothing's guaranteed. Now, people are hesitant to get rid of prospects because of the potential. Potential is great. Potential will have you holding on to things you're not supposed to hold on to because you feel like a change is right around the corner. Forget holding out to see if this young man is going to turn out. You have that on in your prospects already. You're not going to get rid of all your prospects, right? Focus on who's in the bigs right now because it's so hard to make it to the show. If there's any climb in sports that is the most difficult, it is probably Major League Baseball and getting on the PGA Tour. It is hard to do, the hardest to do. So you got to live in the moment. And I think that's something that has been tough for management to do is to live in the moment and go all out and just embrace it. It's more just, all right, hold on tight. We're so close. We're a couple steps away. Instead of being like, let's just go all in. 1,000 on black right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Keith Law talks about the difficulty in trading prospects, but the Mariners do have a bit of a get out of jail free card in the number 3 overall pick in 10 days when the draft happens on July 13th. Yes, you would have to give up a prospect that you've put time and energy and all sorts of resources into developing, but you're also going to get a stud in the draft, somebody that is probably going to be a top 3 or 4 prospect in your system the day he signs.
Immediately replenishing that group. Think of what I've expected with so many prospects and the way I would have felt about if you were to say, oh, they're going to trade Jared Kelenic and Julio Rodriguez. I'd be like, are you insane? That's the future of your franchise. Are you a psycho? That's what I would have said 5 years ago. I'd be like, you're crazy. And now I feel very differently about Jared Kelenic.
How good does it get with the Mariners? Like, realistically, how much better does it get for the Mariners? I know we always go back to 1995 and we talk about that team, then we talk about the early 2000s team. You're not going to get that team. You're not going to have a team where you got Griffey and A-Rod on the same squad anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how good does it get for Seattle? I think this is as good as it gets. So why not go all in when you have all these pieces?
I will preface this by saying that outside of this very interesting cut from Joel Sherman, I don't know that the Braves are actually going to deal Acuña Jr. I don't know that this is really a trade. But what this kind of becomes is how uncomfortable would you make yourself to add star power right now? That's the real conversation that the Mariners front office is going to be asking themselves over the next 4 weeks. So why don't we ask ourselves as well, yes or no? If it was 4 of your top 5 prospects and let's say one of your starting arms, would you make that deal for Ronald Acuña Jr.?
4 of your top 5.
4 of your top 5.
And 1 of your starting arms.
Yeah, let's say
depending on who we talking about. Who we talking about?
Let's say it's not Gilbert. It's not Gilbert, and it's not Castillo. They're probably not going to want
maybe Kirby.
Kirby or
I wouldn't trade
I wouldn't
Brian
trade
Wu.
Wu.
I would
either.
not
I
trade
wouldn't touch
Brian
Wu.
Wu.
I ain't touching Wu.
I think
touching Wu.
Miller being hurt only like slightly sweetens the pot, even though he's got great upside. He's a great player. It's just that.
I mean, if you involve Kirby in the trade, that might be kind of like
Where you
them
take-
saying, like, well, I don't know if we could re-sign him. I would gladly have Ronald Acuña in place if you don't think that you can re-sign George Kirby.
Right.
Okay, so if you think we can't re-sign Kirby and you're including Kirby in the trade, so we're still including 4 of your top 5 prospects?
Yep.
4 of your top 5 prospects in Kirby.
Let him go.
You'd make the trade.
Let him be free.
Curtis, Brady.
I think I might do it.
I'm doing it.
It's a very difficult
I'm
decision.
doing it.
Brady.
I mean, as a Mariners fan, I'm already uncomfortable with our lack of getting to the postseason and just dancing around it. So, yeah, I'm pulling the trigger on this one.
I mean, I already know what missing the playoffs for 20 years feels like. So
Been there, done that.
If they miss the
That's what I'm
playoffs
saying.
again, oh no.
I don't know about you guys, just with our age group, I've spent the entirety of my adult life and teenage life missing the playoffs. So that's a familiar feeling for me. If it ends up costing them and it backfires, it kind of falls into that territory of how I feel about the Jamal Adams trade. This would be a much bigger one, but where I go, it didn't work out. You didn't get to a Super Bowl. Jamal Adams ended up getting hurt. But part of me has a bit of a respect for them really taking a massive swing. Like, there is part of me that's like, I can only be so mad at a team that went all in to try to win.
Yeah.
And that's how I'll feel about this trade. If it ends up backfiring, I can only be so mad before I just have to go, you did everything you could to try to get
Yeah,
this team
you
to win.
tried. You did it. You try. Max effort. Coaches are never mad at max effort, you know? They're never mad at
Never.
it. Just give me everything you got.
Never.
You know, if you go down swinging, go down swinging. But you gave it your all.
Am I
That's
the-
all I can ask for.
Only one who, when you said give it everything you got, heard, give it everything you got.
Everything you got.
Give it everything you got. Let's get to 4 down territory.